there.
Checking connection. This is a weird.
Mm-hmm.
My entire world is flipped upside down.
Go like this to do comments.
Yeah, but at least it's not going to fall over.
Yeah, that is true.
That is a valid thing. So let's see what goes on. Let me actually open YouTube so I can make sure that we are. Hey, look at that. We're live.
So
I'm watching us live right now.
Okay, guys, sorry about that weird setup.
Well, let's see. Weird setup. Totally new.
Yep.
Computer died and crunch time. So we're back.
We got the live up in time. We just had a computer weirdness, but we made it work with a different setup. So
right. So we're doing the best that we can.
Did you guys hear us okay as well? Like, make sure we're sounding good.
I think. I don't know.
Because it looks like our mic's okay.
Yeah, it seems okay.
Okay, cool. Oh wow, we're getting a lot coming in, guys. Thank you for joining.
Look at that. So for anyone on this live,
it's gonna be that chat.
Our phone is here.
Yeah, so we're gonna be like looking this way at the phone.
And this way.
Yeah.
And at the screen, and all that. So we are here. We are live.
It's super weird.
It is super weird.
We also don't have our background music right now, so it's like throwing me off.
I don't know.
Can you just do like lo-fi and no words?
I need to unplug. So hold up.
Yeah. Do you have speakers on the computer?
I do. Okay. I have a little speaker provided to me. I mean, I assume it'll work. Let me look at that real quick, and then we'll see. But you can answer questions while I.
All right, here we go.
While I try to figure this out.
Hi, hello, how are you? We are good. We're good. Now we're got this kind of weird setup going. Mark 18 fans. It's probably one of the cool looking build when they're done right. I think there's a lot of them being done though. For obvious reasons, there's a lot of special force guys that run them. When Fusion Engine custom build, there's a lot of custom builds on our website that allow you to select a Fusion Engine if we have them in stock. If we don't have them in stock right now, then they will not be an option on the custom build. But yeah, there's a lot of different custom builds that we offer with Fusion Engine.
Look at that. You can choose to put.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's new.
That's really cool. I wonder if with the update.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things. They were supposed to update it so that it works with Instagram now instead of us having to like reroute everything.
Oh, so, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Let's see what else. Sounds good. Audio is good. Thank you very much, guys. What? Yeah, I don't know.
I feel.
What? Yeah.
Hello?
Hello?
No one can hear us now. We're across the building.
Looking to get a Kythera. Any tips or tricks? Yeah, so we talked about the Kythera a few times on the lives. Main thing is make sure you are grinding away, dremeling away, whatever. Any parts that would, any like sticking up parts of the gearbox that would interact with the sear or be near the sear so that you don't create a friction point and then the sear gets kind of like jammed up on that friction point and then you got to go back in and rework the entire gearbox, which is not fun. The other thing I would say is do one full complete wrap. Don't let it overlap of electrical tape on the front area of the cylinder where the front of the gearbox would be, where it would go into the front of the gearbox, and it'll touch those two pegs and kind of help hold it in place a little bit better, especially with all the vibration that Kythera creates, because it can basically, your sears like this or that for whatever camera I'm looking at, and then it can go like that after over time with vibration, which will then create, it's now rubbing up against the side of the gearbox and friction, and then it's, won't reset, and you'll have a bad time. If you are also having some like feeding issues with it, you can also try some of the metering screws that they offer. Polestar offers them if you email them in and say, hey, can I get like any of the metering screws, and they'll know what you're talking about, and they'll be like, yeah, which one do you want? I would just recommend you get both, because there's two different ones other than the one that comes in it stock.
Yeah, crazy guy.
Are you going to March Madness? We are going to, a few of us personally are going to the PA Tech game.
Yeah, we're gonna go play. It's like one of the few games we all try to get together and just go and play. So it should be a good time. So just guys being dudes playing airsoft.
Yeah, it's our one like chill little event that we get to go to. That's like a local thing. We all like doing it. Take your time setting it up. Yeah, that's another good point. Just take your time when you're going through and setting up the Kythera. Also use some blue Loctite on the bottom screw that affects the tension of the sear, because the vibration can back that out over time. So I have a mega joint. Oh god. Barrel recommendations for Wolverine MTW. Do not touch the MTW. It is glorious in its configuration.
You can't do like an edgy or something?
Oh, yeah, you could totally upgrade it. I'm just saying don't touch it.
But I mean, like, the bucking and the nub and, like, the hop are all good.
Yeah, the bucking.
The barrels aren't bad.
No, the barrels I think, are ZCI barrels, which are pretty decent barrels.
And they're what, 602 stainless?
Yeah, 602 stainless. You can see a little bit of machining in them, I'm not going to lie. They're not cheap barrels as in quality, but they are very good price.
Barrels when it comes to buying an aftermarket barrel.
Yeah.
Is it better than stock? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are there better barrels? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But to jump from a $24 barrel up to, say, an edgy, like I just grabbed one for my SVU.
$108.
It was $124 for an inner barrel. So if you really want to squeeze that extra, like, what are we talking, like 5-10% out of your airsoft gun, and you want to, spend that money, hey,
do it.
The world is your oyster.
It's definitely, it's like, the world is your oyster, or your pickle, or something else.
I've never heard the pickle one.
Definitely something I'm not making up.
I never know what to believe.
I mean, in stock, jet engine, maybe end of March. Possibly. I know we have a big shipment of Polar Star coming in soon. I just talked to purchasing, and I think a week ago we were talking about this.
Are we talking about fusion engines?
Yeah, fusion engines. When are they coming in? When are they coming in?
Oh.
Fusion.
I don't order anything.
Engine. I can walk next door and ask.
Hey, we have 249.
249s are in.
That's very helpful, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Yeah, we're pretty low on the fusion engines, but we have a giant shipment coming in. That's probably also we have some other fun stuff in there.
The one thing about fusion engines to always remember is they are the most intricate and the most involved engine for Polar Star to manufacture. So they're going to take the longest in between ordering. So, but yeah, usually Polar Star is pretty like, we keep it flowing, I guess would be the best terminology to use. So, but yeah. What else we got here? Did you all see the new Gate Titan engine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we actually have one.
So I'm pretty much done with all the testing on that. It's probably going to be right up there with the Jack and an Inferno as far as performance out of the engine itself. As far as the other features that it offers, you're getting a Gate Titan trigger unit that's optical sensors. That the only HPA system that uses optical sensors right now is the newer MTWs. And I don't know how many they use, so I'm not going to say how many they use, but Gate uses a lot of optical sensors in their trigger board.
Tunability is crazy.
Yeah, the sensitivity you can make out of that thing is crazy. The sensitivity you can make out of that thing is absolutely crazy.
Bonkers.
And the interface for tuning it is all Bluetooth. And you do it on your phone. It's the same Bluetooth interface that you would use for any of the Gate units, the Gate Titans, the Aster, anything that you would already have done programming on. If you are familiar with the Gate interface, it's really simple to understand. It's very plain English. It's laid out very clearly. You're now using that same interface to tune your HPA unit. I also believe that Titan for HPA is going to work for Jacks, Infernos, F2s as well. So if you don't want to go with their engine for some reason, it's a great engine. But if you don't want to go with that engine, you want to go with a tried and true Jack or Inferno, or want a dual solenoid option and you want the F2, you will be able to use that trigger board with those options as well and have the same very easy interface and tunability and sensitivity that that'll offer. Yeah, it's great. I'm wild. Yeah, it's highly impressing me. Honestly, from a tunability standpoint, from a unit standpoint, it's very similar to a Jack or an Inferno. There are some definite differences. A, it's way smaller. B, there's not a lot of wiggle room on that nozzle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's definitely cool. I'm very happy with what they did with it.
I need to get more time behind it.
Once we get them in, they'll be up on the website. I'm really having a fun time with it.
Sick. Thanks for the input on the Kythera.
Absolutely.
That was all that guy.
Absolutely.
Best
There you go.
bucking and nub combo for an AK. I always run Maple Leaf Super Macrons anywhere from a 60 degree to a 75 degree, and then an Omega nub. And then if you're going even further, Lonex hop, and then depending on your budget, edgy barrel is the. I mean, technically the Combat Union is a little bit, it's better than the Lonex, but it depends on the amount of work you want to put in. So
yeah, if you want to tear the entire thing apart,
or you get them. So, but yeah, Lonex, Maple Leaf, Omega nub, edgy barrel is like my tried and true. Very consistent, very cost effective for the most part. Well, hello there. Hello. Where's the gun wall? We're in a different room.
Yeah, we're in a different room. We had some technical difficulties with my computer, which is what we normally do the live on. So no gun wall, just some disco lights today. And we were trying to get that fixed for next week. Don't know what happened.
Computer go.
Yeah, literally yesterday, I lost all audio on my computer. And I was like, okay, try and get this figured out. Then today I find out it's also affecting the mic. It's also affecting the camera. And I'm like, okay, this is like, we're probably going to need to replace a part in the computer. So we'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
We have some over here too.
Yeah. Hey there, guys. I am first. Rank these platforms fully upgraded. MPX, Crytek PDW, or VFC PDW.
Okay, so fully upgraded, two routes. I'm going to go with the AEG route. I'm going to say across the board, they all have a Titan, SS, or single sector gear, so SSG 13-1s, and I'm going to say like AOE is good, like fully upgraded AEG, not a DL. Right now, the tried and trues are the Crytek and the VFC. The MPX is really good, but it's 9mm. So if you're looking for something that's a 5.56 style, I would go with the Crytek or the VFC. And then the MPX, like I said, it's 9mm. I think it works really well. However, the MPX is actually using VFC internals and gearboxes, so it's going to be very similar performance to the PDW from VFC. It really comes down to, do you want 9mm, and do you want to do some dremeling when you're installing the Gate Titan into the Crytek? Outside of that, I mean, I like the MPX. I just like the look of it. I like it, the 9mm look for like a PDW style thing.
I think I would do MPX,
Yeah.
VFC PDW, and then Crytek PDW, because I like the MCX is like a real, like a licensed real.
Yeah, I firearm. Like that. I think I would do the MPX and then the Crytek and then the VFC. I just kind of like it comes down to the smallest hair. I kind of like the finish on the paint of Crytek a little bit better than I like the finish on the paint of VFC. That's how minute I'm getting.
These are all very very comparable guns, which makes it a good question. But that's how I would probably do it.
Yeah.
So, what would you recommend better for HPA, ARP9 or
M4? Again, I think it comes down to
what mag you want.
Yeah, really, at the end of the day,
shoot the same.
You have the ARP 5.56, which is an M4 mag, or you have the ARP 9, which is a 9mm, and they're literally both using M4 style hop-ups, the same length barrel, and same gearbox and everything.
It's all about the mags. If you'd rather have like a more traditional plate carrier setup, I guess, because you could just run like a triple or a double stack.
Yeah,
it would be easier than the elongated 9mm mags still. But yeah, what's up, guys? What's up? Hey, Wes, I think you dropped something. I don't know what I dropped. I really don't. Did I actually drop something?
No, look.
I can't believe that. I'm leaving. Hey, this has been great. Thanks.
This is good.
GBBR or AEG for solid training rifle. Haven't been in Airsoft long. Looking at Elite Force, VFC/Elite Force, and KWA. It is.
Yeah, you go.
I would say if it's solely for training, like it doesn't see the field, and even if you want to take it to the field occasionally, I would go with the gas blowback.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play Airsoft perfectly fine with the gas blowback. Like I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of extra work in between games, or like time. Your downtime is a little bit more increased, and your much more affected by the weather.
Max capacity.
Yes, for the airsoft side of things.
Yes.
But from a realism side of things and training, gas blowback's definitely going to give you that. I know the magazines are heavier. The bolt reciprocating. I didn't think if
the bolt moving back and forth.
Yes, I'm aware, but I didn't know if it was like reciprocation because I'm using it in a certain sentence. I don't know. That was my mentality.
I'm not in English. I don't care.
Anyway, the bolt moving back and forth is great.
It go this way. It's good. Other thing go like do. This go boom 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 boom.
But anywho, if it's like more than 50% training and playing, I would lean towards a gas blowback. But if you're like, if you're like 80% playing and then you want 20% like training on the side, just get like a recoil AEG.
Yeah, so
in my opinion,
AEG, when you say GBBR, is pretty cut and dry. That's like, you know, a few different brands make a GBBR M4 or an 8K. And there's a few different brands. The quality varies between all of them, and you can just, you know, focus on pretty much what he said on that. As far as the AEG side goes, I think budget comes into play here. I think features come into play when you're talking about something that you're buying to replicate training. You have your basic AEG that has the right heft to it, that makes it feel like you're training your weapon manipulation a lot. Then you can go up from there, and like a VFC anything is not going to have any felt recoil. It's just going to fire really well. It's going to have similar heft to your real firearm, not all of it, but similar. And then if you want to go more in the way of realism, I think the next thing, as far as price goes, would be the KWA CM4 or T10, the 3.0 gearbox that they have that has some felt recoil, some cool features as far as like a dead mag when you're out of rounds. It completely kills the gun until you put a new one in, hit the paddle on the side, and keep going. That's about a $400 gun that has a lot of extra training features to it that gives you just a little bit more of that realism and a little bit more thought when doing mag reloads, when you're, you know, out of stuff. They can also have magazines that are limited to 30 rounds to have that extra level of realism as well. And then if you go from there, then you start getting into TM recoil shocks, which have similar set of things, but a little bit more upgradability to them. And then if you want to go bonkers crazy as an AEG, which you're now surpassing a gas blowback in price, but you get a little bit more reliability out of it, you would go to the GBLS or some other type of dedicated AEG training system. And I have run a gas blowback GHK M4. I now currently have a GBLS because I like it a lot for the reliability standpoint from the airsoft side of things. That weapon system is very good for training. It has an actual reciprocating bolt. You can tear it down the exact same way. Magazines are great. The heft is really good. The trigger pull is very similar to a Army style trigger or a mil spec trigger. Sorry, I was trying to figure out that term.
Very cool.
And then it's not going to feel like your civilian style AR that has like a 2-pound trigger. But I actually kind of like that heft a little bit. When you're playing, you got to like pull through stuff and it makes you think a little bit more.
It's definitely hefty.
It's definitely hefty. I would say flat out, if you're asking me if you're just getting back into it, go buy a KWA CM4. It's $400, very middle of the road with feature set and reliability. Mags are way cheaper, and you get into airsoft. You maybe don't want to focus on your budget so high end on the feature richness and one-to-one training side. You just want enough to get you by. This thing's going to be priced very similar to other AEGs, and you get a little bit more features out of it. That is what I would go.
There you go. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi.
I just want to say I did my best to stop you from getting waterboarded. You should have let them succeed.
No, I got a little bit of I got waterboarded about 2 times in the role play thing that we did. That was so much fun. I could talk about Centurion a little bit here in a minute. Maybe I will just because you guys brought that up. But like Centurion was an event we did this past weekend. I've never been to a Centurion event. I've been to Sector 7. A lot of the guys that run Sector 7 and own Sector 7 are cadre or owners of Centurion, and they know how to run a good open play. This was like levels and levels above other Milsims too. Like the level of engagement that they had with players, the level of detail that they went to, really cool. I'm not gonna try and trivialize it, but it definitely was a very intense game when you wanted it to be, and if you didn't want it to be an intense game, you didn't have to have it that way. It was kind of tailored more towards a 40-hour crowd, but like I said, you could roll it back if you wanted to as a player, which I think is really cool. And then if you wanted to go really crazy, they had some crazy stuff that they did there. I got waterboarded. It was fun. It was nuts. They take it pretty seriously. One of the interesting things that they do that makes them a little bit stand out different is you're on the field for the entire weekend, like Friday to Sunday. You're on the field, but instead of it being constant, you're out and you're fighting people. What they'll do is, okay, return to base. You did that mission. You're not going to stay out in the field and now try and do other missions from the point that you are on the map. They're going to bring you back to base, and then when they bring you back to base, they're going to send other people out for other missions, and you get a little bit of downtime. If you've been to an MSW, they kind of do a similar thing with rotating squads out, but it's more like placing bodies where they need it, not very mission oriented or scripted mission oriented. These were very like thought out, a little bit scripted role play mission sets that they had people doing, and it was really cool to see. And I am 100% going back to any Centurion event I can probably go to. It was a lot of fun for me.
Oh yeah.
That was Minnesota since we're talking about the weekend.
Oh, Minnesota was great. It was an Airsoft convention. First time I've ever done something like that. Very well organized. Lots of good people. There's really nothing negative to say. There's not a lot of craziness to say. You know, I didn't get waterboarded at a convention. So
you got snowed in.
We did. Lots of snow, lots of ice. I hate the cold. So obviously, send me to Minnesota.
Absolutely.
It was a good time. Everyone was up there. Everyone that was up there was awesome. So honestly, hats off. So next year, if you guys see the Minnesota Airsoft Convention, there's a lot of good stuff for sale. It's a swap meet. It was a good time.
That's where you got the SVU.
I did. Me and Ryan found identical SVUs.
Were they actually like identical, like in condition and everything?
Inbox. Two inbox SVUs. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's cool.
So that's fun. Just picked up a First Strike Slim Carbon tank. Are these a good choice? Don't see them in stock anywhere.
They're good. A lot of the reason why you don't see them in stock anywhere is they are kind of a little bit of a slower mover, even though they're a really good item because of their price points. They're really expensive for a very small capacity.
It turns a lot of people away.
Yeah. Like you look at a 13 cubic aluminum tank that's only a 3,000, a 13 3000, and not a 15 4500. You're talking about what, a $60 tank versus a $200 tank. It definitely turns people away. So like I said, they're a little bit slower movers, so people don't tend to stock them in high quantities. But they're a really good tank if you want to spend the money on it. $72. Yeah, we're talking like $70 versus $200 for one tank of about equal size, not equal capacity, but of equal size
like
on your
physical.
back. Yeah,
when you grab it.
Yeah, when you
grab it.
Like that's probably
about
like
this.
I think it's about. That might be like that actually.
So yeah, when you go and grab it,
you need to like shove it.
Yeah. It's a great tank. They are actually great. I'm not even trying to be funny. Great tank. Just grab.
We got two more over here.
Hey guys, any update on the Amped Field will open? Got to see it at the swap meet and haven't heard any word. The city of Pittsburgh is the current thing that I can say about it.
Yeah.
So
we had a little bit of inspection road bump thing happen after that swap meet, and it's since been figured out what exactly we needed to do. A lot of stuff that we needed to do has been done. There's some final paperwork things, and then there's a little bit more background stuff that's probably going to end up happening. That's all I'm going to say as far as details go, because this is going to be still a moving target type thing. So that's about as much as we can say right now.
But it's still happening.
It's still happening.
That's the end of the day. It's still gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's just once we just get it out of the city of Pittsburgh.
If you're in a city limit of anything and you're trying to do anything that's like, I want to have airsoft guns in your city or an airsoft thing in your city, they go, well, if it's an event, okay. Oh, it's an actual physical location and this is going to be a constant thing. Well, hold on a second.
So, pump the brakes.
Yeah. But hi from Scotland. Dude, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Is it morning or very late there?
Dude, I don't know.
Where's Connor?
I couldn't. Yeah, I don't know. Connor, Scotland. Love you, boys and girls. Love you too. Thank you for joining the live.
Yeah.
This is a cool one. Is Polar Star ever going to come out with a different FCU to compete with the current aftermarket ones out there? Valid question.
What do you think?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is kind of what
Yeah.
I think. I mean, once again, this is a speculation. I don't speak for Polar Star, but it is a reliable and consistent unit. It doesn't really have many, if any, drawbacks other than inconvenience of you have to physically touch the FCU.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
Yeah.
it works. It just does its job. You can tune it to no end. And why go through the – I think they would rather, once again, assuming they would rather focus on production and getting their units out there than taking away from that and designing something that doesn't really have a void that they need to fill.
Yeah, I think –
my opinion.
I think I am really on the same page with him. That don't – if it's not broke, don't fix it. In this case applies. I think there's sometimes where, if it's not broke, don't fix it, and it's not a lot of features. Well, you could do some tuning and some upgrading and give people some more features. You guys are probably referring to, the Gorilla. Probably number one thing that you guys are referring to. And you're probably also going to start referring to the gate triggerboard unit as well. I don't think Polar Star wants to focus, and this is me personally, I don't actually know this. I don't think Polar Star wants to really focus on upgrading their FCUs when their FCUs already have a lot of features compared to some other FCUs, and they also don't have as many features as a Gorilla or a Gate, but also they don't need to.
They don't restrict your gun from shooting.
You can tune a lot of that. There's a lot of potential in there that people don't really utilize a lot of the time once they get their units, and I don't really think they're focusing so much on, you want rampant, you want binary, all that stuff. That also goes into the trigger area as well, so you have to rework that too. So I don't think it's a high priority at this
moment. Eric, you're right. For all the Gate users out there, the Gate Pulsar guys who do have them already, we have an IGL for them. It's the Giggle. GIGL, so the Gate IGL, so they are on the website under the IGL page. So
if you guys have some from Gate or other retailers, do you guys now have access to an IGL for them as well?
Yeah, so it's on the website. When is, and I would assume internal,
external.
Yeah, but I mean,
okay, maybe it's internal.
Yeah. So when does an internal barrel start being too long to be effective?
About after
like
5.
Is it 4?
It's like 425. You start to see very low gains after that. Now, FPS, if barrel volume and cylinder volume are matched very well, and you have a decent ratio of slight over voluming going on, you will see efficiency happening the longer your barrel gets. You get a little bit more efficient as long with that air as the barrel gets longer. And your FPS will also slightly increase as the barrel gets longer. That being said, you're not going to see a lot of gains in range or consistency, so grouping size, after about 425, 455 millimeters. Once you start getting longer and longer, now you're just kind of giving that BB a very good path for it to exit out of your longer barrel gun or a suppressor attached at the end of it so that it's not accidentally hitting off of the inside of the outer barrel. There's definitely benefits to it, mainly to be had in air efficiency, but as far as grouping and range, that's going to come down to your barrel polish and your bucking and nub and weight of BB setup.
Dance party, yes.
Yes.
Are you going to March Madness this weekend? Yes. Some of us will be going personally. West, the Top Golf parking lot took our right side wheel. Well, you know, that sounds like a bad driver, not a bad parking lot.
I would say you hit the curve and that's on you. Yeah. The curve now.
But I understand the day you were having, so I'm not. I get it. Hey guys, hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Hi Grimnir.
Oh great. Oh great. Grimnir's here.
BFR's here. Welcome to the live. Tom, well, I mean, it's for you. So, Tom, it's for you.
I just picked up an M16 stock for the M4, and a carry handle now has a rail on for my optic. The heresy continues. I actually really like that kind of a build. Like, it's kind of cool, especially with the rail that I know you have on there. Like, it's actually, I like carry handles and optics mounted on them. I don't know why. I just like that aesthetic.
Oh, if it's set up on the, like, if it's like an M16 or like a rifle that, you know, is notorious for being seen like that, it's awesome.
Well, like think about that, but instead of the traditional foregrip, it's like a quad rail. Like I like that.
That's cool.
Like I like
absolutely.
That. It's very cool. Yeah.
Any news for Iron Dagger?
Iron Dagger. If you're talking about the Third Coast event, we do not go to any Third Coast events, unfortunately. They're pretty far south for us. But we generally don't go to any Third Coast events. If you need some orders sent out before that event, we can try and make that work for you.
So, but no pre-orders or no anything like that. We won't. Definitely. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Boys, it's spring break time. That's what I like to hear, baby.
No cranes.
No cranes.
No cranes.
No cranes. Building a Scar H. Do I do an Elcan or EOTech magnifier? EOTech and magnifier. Probably Elcan. Is it Scar H?
Scar H. Oh, yeah,
Elcan.
Elcan.
Yeah.
Elcan. I got two over here, or I got one more. This is the best platforms, hands down. So here's my question: the VFC Sig Sauer. What would your ideal total upgrade on it, and no budget?
I can run through it real quick.
Do your AG and I'll do my HPA.
Yeah, so I'd probably do Siege Tech gears. If budget wasn't an option, a Warhead motor, Gate Titan, Kratos piston, rocket piston head, max cylinder, Gate cylinder head.
Max cylinder matched to the FPS and barrel length that you want.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the spring is whatever. I'll figure. I need to know what FPS I'm going for. Yeah. I would do. I think it's Enzo does the bearings or bushings.
Yeah. FLT does
bushings. Yeah, FLT bushings because then it won't break. Edgy stainless steel, probably max unit. Maple Leaf, Super Macron, and Omega Nub.
And for me, if I see, here's my thing now. I really like that game. Fusion engine. No, I wouldn't do a fusion engine. I would do an F2. I would do an F2 if you're doing HBA route, and then what was your barrel build?
Edgy stainless, Super Macron, Omega Nub.
I go between that or the only variation I would do is I'm doing my F2 with an IGL, and then I am running all of the battery and everything to the grip so that I don't have to deal with anything. It's a nice cleaner look to the build. And then
it's easier too.
For me, actually, what I would do is I'd still run all that to the grip, but I would put an air stock on it. I know it's a little bit heresy for the MCX because it's supposed to have that collapsible, but I would put a buffer tube on it. I would put an air stock on it because I like air on my guns. And then I would do the exact same barrel build that he has, except instead of the Super Macron and the Omega nub, I would do the stock max M nub that it comes with. I would do an R-hop patch, and I would still do the same still edgy. No budget. Crazy.
Those would be some good shooting toy guns.
That'd be crazy. Those would be nuts.
MCX has always been like a on my build list of like guns that like I could see myself owning.
Yeah.
But I just don't want them. I don't want to do exactly what I said. It's expensive.
Yeah. How do you get this is a good one. We get this a few times. How do you pick who you guys sponsor? This is a better question a little bit for Eric, but this is kind of, we all kind of know what it is. We really are a little bit of a weird company. We don't really like go after people and give and like be like, hey, do you want us to sponsor you? We generally, one of our criteria is we have to meet you in person. That's like a big like rule that we have, unless like you're grandfathered in. But like we have to meet you in person, and if we like hanging out with you, we like seeing what you're doing on the field. We like, you're like a positive person for the community. That's who we try and go after to sponsor.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't
Yeah.
do teams.
No.
It's individual based, and it's like Tom said, it's a connection.
Yeah.
Between the guys on like who you see on trips.
Yeah.
And how they interact. So
we've had people come up to us and try and be very, very buddy with us, and there's two levels. There's like, I'm immediately trying to be your friend so that you do stuff for me, and like we can pick up on that. And then there's some that are like, I'm gonna be really chill at first and see if this goes anywhere, and then a little bit later they kind of go away from that. And there's just there's like, we have our like internal gut process. Kind of it though. It's not like a very written down thing. The most written down rule is no teams, unless they're grandfathered in, and only individuals, and we have to have met in person.
I'm waiting for Eric to kick this door down.
Yeah.
Say something that we missed or didn't say. But hey, if there is, he'll come in and he'll let us know.
He'll be like here, and I'll just be like holding his body up.
Well, there's plenty of space on the
on
YouTube.
The screen, yeah, but just he'll be like, hey, Tom, hold me.
Hold me. I just saw the jack on my BS MP5 from you guys. Just curious, what are the best mags or drum mag for high rate of fire? Honestly, if you're gonna do high rate of fire, you probably want to respring any magazine on the market.
Especially the MP5.
Yeah, the only real ones out there are the Steemas, the metal ones,
Yeah,
and then the Elite Force ones. I've never had a problem with them feeding at like 23 to 24 rounds a second, but obviously I've never gone above that, so I can't really say. But usually you just need to respring them with like a maple supply spring. Yeah. You should be all right.
Yeah.
Now we're just waiting for PTS. That'd be crazy.
It's really weird that they haven't made
one,
because they've made one for a lot of different guns. But it's really weird that they haven't made one for an MP5 yet.
I don't know. Maybe there's no like. Honestly, the MP5 mags that exist aren't bad, and they're like $9 a piece.
No.
So it's like it's a tough market to break into.
Yeah, and if you're trying to go for really high rate of fire, something else you need to think about is the hop up on a lot of MP5s, especially the VFCs, are proprietary now. They've always really have been, but they're proprietary. A lot of something you need to figure out if you're trying to go past 30 rounds a second and getting into like the 40s and 50s and 60s, your hop up and your bucking can be restriction points for flow of BBs to try and feed every single round at that rate of fire. High end, even HPA, high rate of fire builds, you have to focus a lot on BB flow and not just how fast that nozzle is moving.
Absolutely. Yeah. What is your favorite pistol? Elite Force Glock 17 Gen 5.
My favorite pistol I've ever used was a TM SIG P226. It's one of my favorite guns. It's one of my guns I always regret selling because I was going to college and I sold about 20-30% of my stuff because I was just going to college and I wasn't going to use it when I was in college. I really highly regret selling that gun. Great shooting gun, never failed. Felt great in your hand. I had like nothing done to it. It was pretty much like a more Milsim style pistol. Nowadays, I would say the Glock is like almost a gold standard as far as performance goes, but I really like the AAP01. I really like the AAP01. You can do a lot with it. It has a lot of features. It's $100. $107 after tax. Like, you get so much bang for your buck out of that thing. It's nuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no denying it.
Yeah, I really like the AAP01.
Opinions on the Lancer Tactical M240. I don't have any experience with it, unfortunately. So I can't really say anything other than it's probably going to work fine. You're probably going to want to upgrade it. And it's an LMG, so something's probably going to break. Yeah, it's every LMG in my opinion.
When an LMG breaks, it goes through a metamorphosis, becomes a beautiful HPA butterfly, and then it will never break again, except for probably a bucking or something.
See, unless I own it.
Unless you own it. Yeah, you're right.
It'll be an AG forever.
It'll be an AG forever, or your box mags will just Shrek themselves randomly.
That's Logan. I don't break my box
or
mags.
Logan
breaks my box mags. ACS Airsoft, so much girth. I'm excited to see you guys. So much girth. Oh, oops, thank you. Guy with the First Strike information. First Strike is currently in the process of moving, so you won't see many in stock until they open back up. But yeah, great tank. So for those guys after First Strikes, they're in the process of moving. Learn something new every day, even as the people doing a lot. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
How do you like the new Heretic Article 1 guns?
Okay, so I kind of have a backstory around this gun a little bit now. We've been testing the ATI Sub 5, and those are going up on our website soon. That's turning out to be a really cool, fun package. The only thing I want is a smaller ARP9 mag because I like smaller packages. I like smaller packages. But the other thing that is kind of in that category is the Article 1, and it takes M4 magazines. And if you want to keep a standard set of M4 mags and just kind of grab a gun and go that's going to perform really well in a speed-soft environment, or you're looking to try and just get something that works ridiculously well out of the box, those Article 1s or MTWs, and MTWs from factory are just great guns. They are. And they look really cool. They look the part. I think they've done a really cool, fun job. And I do like that they basically put it under a separate brand that just Wolverine.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's cool.
Strong marketing strategy, in my opinion, and it honestly helps to differentiate the two.
Yeah.
Because they're same but different.
Yeah.
Obviously, my opinion on that, it's not my play style. I don't really, it doesn't do anything for me. But holding that gun and honestly, like the construction is held to the exact same standards as your standard MTWs, which, as you guys already know, are super, super solid. And you could probably throw them off a 3-story building. Don't actually do that, but
I think they did it.
They probably did.
I think they did it. Look up MTW durability testing. They did nuts stuff to that gun.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah.
But holding it and just putting it in my hands, the construction of that gun is fantastic. And like I said, MTWs out of the box, or you said MTWs out of the box shoot amazing, and you're going to get that exact same performance when you pick up a Heritage. The other thing too, the colors, the anodization of the colors,
it's really pretty.
Are really good.
It's really cool.
I love purple just by nature. It's just I love purple, and the purple that they chose was really, really nice. So I don't know. It feels very solid. That's probably my favorite thing about it.
Yeah.
I would never use it just because it's not anything I would use.
But I think for me,
it's honestly, if you're after something like that,
if you're looking for like an M4 base gun for speed soft, it's great. I'm currently trying to do like a more speed soft style build. And I'm probably going to base it around an AP01, but I highly consider doing the ATI Sub 5 or just grabbing a Heretic and not having to deal with anything. Because I think that's one of the biggest selling points is you don't really have to do anything to the MTW line.
Plug a battery up
to
it.
And then you're good to go. They run great. The Sub 5s we are going to be building out of the chassis, and that thing runs great too. It's just more like, what did I want? And I kind of wanted a little bit more blowback feel, so I'm going to probably go the way of a tapped AAP01 instead of those two. And also, I don't want to be back position, whatever that is in speed soft. I don't know all the terminology.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't. I was just looking because you're here.
I was like, huh?
But like, I don't remember the exact terminology, but I don't like that play style when I'm playing. I like to kind of go for a snake and like just work my way through a snake. And so I wanted a smaller package than the Heretic. But yeah, I think it's still a really great gun.
What do you guys think about the HPA Crytek Mark II M SPR?
Great. We build a lot of those. I think a Crytek is always a great platform for HPA. They have really good build quality. The gearboxes are great. You have to grind them a little bit, and they're heavy duty metal, so it takes a little bit longer to grind them, but they're very good platforms. Oh wow, I cannot believe how many comments we have. Jesus Christ.
What's up, guys? What's up?
He's Irish. Oh, Connor's Irish. Yes, you're right. I
Let
was
me get
also
some.
knowing that, trying to make fun of him.
Let me get some free. No. Don't forget the AK suppressor at the end.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So what are your thoughts on the Arsenal in June? I'm excited for it.
Centurion was also my first trip to Muscatuck or Mutsy training facility. That place is just candy for an airsoft. It's a crazy AO. It's so cool. It's so high detail. It's so many buildings and also woods. Like it's a massive AO on top of all that. It's just whoever is running events there this season and whoever is going to these events this season, police your garbage, be respectful to the AO, and make sure we can maintain that as a continuous AO future wise because we lost Mutsy a while ago. We could not go back because people were trashing the place when they were playing and stuff. Respect the AOs you're on, especially if you're going to any of these games at Mutsy. Please police your stuff and be just respectful to the AO as well.
Look at that. Listen to Tom.
Please
Do as
listen to me on
Tom
that
says
one.
if you want to play there.
Yeah.
Well, my guys, I have to head back to work. Be safe and be well.
You
Thanks
too.
for stopping in on me. I appreciate it. No more cranes till the summer. Short spring break, though. Learning fire safety next week. Keep us updated.
Have fun,
We
bud.
look forward to it. We look forward to the updates. Leaving to play Airsoft today? Awesome,
That would be
man.
cool.
Thanks, guys. Always helpful and informative. That's usually Tom.
I've tried.
What is that?
Oh, that's yerba mate tea. I like it a lot. So it's like a yerba mate tea. I think it's Brazilian or Argentinian. It is like you know how kombucha is a thing. It's like a very highly concentrated, nutritious tea. It's like a loose leaf. You actually sip it with a filtered straw. If you're having it the regular way, if you're having like the bottled way, then it tastes really good. I it's really good.
I'll try it.
Good question.
I'll try it. How do you maximize joules and what BBs do you use for that? Like BB weight.
Joules is a combination of heavy BB weight, a longer barrel to gain as much efficiency as you can, good air seal between the nozzle and the pop-up and the bucking, and then heavier weights increase joule creep a lot. Um, so like if you're running a 3.2, you're going to have lower joules than if you're running a 4.8, but you're also going to have slightly lower FPS. But generally, you're going to have, as your FPS goes down, your joules will go up at a different rate as your FPS going down.
Heavy BBs.
Heavy BB go.
So restock on Mac gearboxes, and thanks for getting my HPA build done. If you remember, it was a Kythera Tag SIR Reggie. Sir Reggie.
Okay.
And then he says, I drink Yerby Mate, right?
Yeah.
Yerby Mate every day almost. It's the best.
Yeah.
Restock on Mac gearboxes.
They take a minute. It takes us a while. If we're out of stock, generally have another order placed so that we can get restocked at least within a month of us going out of stock. We're also working on making those cycles of out of stock, in stock, like those periods of where we're out of stock going down for a purchasing standpoint. So hopefully we'll get them back in within the next month or so, I would say.
PT1 stock versus PT3 stock. Probably the PT3.
What do I have on mine? I have the PT3.
What is it? You have the bulkier one? Or the tubular one?
The tubular
You have
one.
PT3.
I have both actually. I have a PT. Wait, which one was the tubular one?
The tubular one's 3.
3. I like the 3 better than the 1. Just because I think the 1 is like, it's just very bulky and the cheek rest is not comfortable. You can flip it around, but it's kind of a pain in the ass.
I have a PT1 and a PT3. The PT3 is on my main 105, and I've been running it forever. It is lighter, which is probably the biggest benefit to it. But the PT1 just has, I don't know, it has such a cool aesthetic to it. I love how it looks.
Yeah, I like how the PT3 looks.
Oh, they both look great.
It has like this modern mechanic, like this, like I don't know, this like steampunky feel to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're looking to just, at the end of the day, the PT3 is probably better.
The best stock is a triangle wire stock with hat on. That is.
Oh, Ryan setup.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
setup.
that is so dope. I wish
Yeah.
it was here. I mean, it is here. It's just across the building.
Yeah.
Someone might feel generous and bring it in. I don't know. But yeah, PT3 probably. I'm gonna take my opinion.
Yeah.
What fusion engine do you? With a fusion engine, what do you guys change in BBs you use? Thanks. Lightning banjo.
Yeah. So if you're trying to go for efficiency, a lot of the times what we change is like me personally, I put a lightning banjo on it and I try and shim the pump down to where I'm getting a really good efficiency for running outdoors sub 400 FPS with 3.2s. Now, generally though, I'm not running 3.2s. I'm running 4.8. Pretty much any gun I'm using outside where 4.8s are allowed, I am running heavyweight BBs because I cut through brush better and I get better range. And yes, the BB moves slower, but at the same point, it's negligible after about 150. So that's kind of what I do to it.
I don't run fusion engines, so I'm not sure. I mean, I kind of have a general understanding. I mean, obviously, efficiency, lightning banjo.
Yeah.
IGL, so it doesn't leak.
Large nozzle bore, small poppet bore if you're going for efficiency.
40-mile-per-hour wind today. I'm glad I'm playing indoor tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Lucky you. PT3 it is. I'm eyeing the LCT version. That's what I have. Honestly, there's the main. You once you get it, when you look at the bottom, there'll be a slot where you unscrew the one like nut, and it allows it to adjust. If you go in and towards the gun, there's a big Allen key in there. I recommend backing it out, putting blue Loctite on it, and then tightening it back up because it'll rattle loose over time. But yeah, this is a good point. I much prefer the PT1. Helps balance the weight up front from attachment.
Oh yeah,
valid point.
Yeah.
So I guess in that case, if you really want a balanced gun, which honestly AKs and balance doesn't really they don't really mix.
AK is ergonomic in any setup. What are you talking about? AK superiority.
Opinion superiority. Yeah. But yeah, that's a valid point. I never really thought of it that way, to be honest, because AKs are just always front heavy. Even my 74U with a PT1 on it is still front heavy. Yeah. I mean, it might be less front heavy now, but at the end of the day, once it's shouldered, I'm not thinking about it. But honestly, a really, really good point.
I have a good question over there.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? What's so special about Rogue Customs? It's literally a paint job for an extra $200 to $300. Like, I get it changes colors on some dye masks, but like, I don't see the hype. That's a very valid question. Why would you spend $200 to $300 more on a mask when it doesn't really change a lot of the function? And I think the answer to that is people like to express themselves, and the level of labor and time that goes into producing that type of artwork on a mask is a lot, and the skill level needed is very unique, and not a lot of people are doing it. And so if you are not somebody who cares a lot about how your style looks in a game or anything like that, that's not for you. What it's for is somebody who really does want to express themselves on the field and kind of add to their identity when they're in Airsoft. Or they just really want something that looks cool. And if they think that it is, it is what they want to spend their money on more, then that is for them. If you don't want to be spending your money on something that looks cool and you want something that's more functionally good, then just grab a regular dye mask. Functions probably the exact same way. But the guy who does it, Rogue, is a very skilled guy. He puts a lot of time and effort in. He's very professional about it too, which is why we're working with him on those masks and on the guns. And really, it does come down to that level of skill needed to put that high level of detail in and the durability of his work. This is not something that's just going to wear away. It's like 8 to 10 layers of clear coat on at the end of it just to make sure that paint holds up. It's not like a rattle can thing. This is like hand-drawn or airbrushed work with a stencil. This is some higher level stuff than just painting your gun to look like a certain camo pattern, which is also an aesthetic if you want to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Tom kind of nailed it, but perception of cost is all in the eyes of the beholder. I mean, you look at the things that we each individually spend more money than anyone could imagine on niche things. You know, you look at a lot of the guys around here who love the GMR mini maps, for instance. I mean, myself included.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Any normal person, like outside of this hobby, or anyone who knows, here's the price tag of a GMR mini map. When they're looking at it, their brain turns to mush. And I've experienced that. So, it's just a perception of value by the user. So, like for me, great work. It's super impressive to see a gun and maps that actually like holds up and feels good, and it like you can appreciate the craftsmanship. Would I personally go and buy that? It just isn't. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna, judge someone who does. Yeah. So that's the cool thing about airsoft. We've all known this. Everyone has the ability to go and buy a Purple Heretics gun, go and buy a Rogue Custom gun, or do whatever you want. So
I think also you can look at a lot of different hobbies too. I mean, you and I are a little bit of this way when it comes to cars. I'm building out my Miata to try and go to a racetrack, and I'm focusing more on performance parts and focusing on the looks later, but I'm going to make it look a little bit better. But your Supra is dream looking car.
Don't hype me up.
I cannot stand how much it scrapes. That's not functionally okay.
Hey man, that's the best part.
But that's my point.
Exactly.
It's literally the polar opposite of your car looks really good. I would never want to daily that thing.
You're a maniac.
Yeah.
You want to daily something like that. But no, and that's a great example. I mean, there's just different categories of each hobby and different aspects to it that, we can get into. So honestly, great question. Like at the end of the day, that's something that I don't feel a lot of people even bother to ask.
Yeah.
But hey man, hats off. So great question. Wide bore or tight bore?
Oh. So I think Wolverine.
Don't spend 8 minutes on it.
I'm not going to. Wolverine did a really
We
good.
have 1 minute.
Wolverine and Gun Gamers did a really good in-depth video comparing wide bore versus tight bore, and they found that in certain circumstances, wide bore actually is good but less air efficient than a tight bore. And that's pretty much the bottom line. Like wide bore is going to be more air hungry than a tight bore, but you can get some really good groupings and performance out of it as you can in a tight bore barrel. I'm done.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We don't actually have 1 minute. I saw the time versus the thing over there. So
okay. Anyways, like I was saying.
No, you're done. You fellows excited for this year's Grimnir lineup? I can't make any, unfortunately, but they look like they're going to be super fun, especially Benghazi. I'm sorry, Tom, but I'm bringing it back. Floppa plushies when? First off, yes, we're always excited for Grimnir Tactical. If you guys have never checked them out, please do. I have my plush right here. He sits with me every day. He's my little bundle of joy throughout the day. So
we do have 2 minutes left.
Now we have 2 minutes.
Grimnir Benghazi is going to be great. And Floppa.
Amped X Floppas.
I think we could do.
He's got little heart tones.
Yeah, we did.
Isn't he so cute? Look at him. But yeah, this is my little bundle of joy every day. I love him. He hangs out. Floppa. See, thank you. This is it's great. But I guess for the last closing minute and 32 seconds, this Sunday, for anyone who's local to Pennsylvania or Ohio, a couple of us, so a good bit of the shop, we're just going to go play at Battlefront March Madness. So you can find that on Facebook. That's the only event we're just attending this weekend.
After that, though, we are going to have a giant weekend planned out. We have Southern Front coming up after that. Then we also have TRP, and we have one of the first public games at Benjamin Franklin Range. Please, if you have not bought a ticket to that or to any of the other events that we are going to go to, please go and find out about that crazy, awesome, cool new field coming out in our local area. It's going to be a very fun time. Please, please, please get up there if you can.
I'm going to be sharing some links and some info to that event on the socials here shortly. So keep an eye on our Instagram and our Facebook so you guys can get all the information that you need for that. I will be there. It'll be a good time. Please come out. There's been a lot of work, a lot of time and effort put into that facility.
Yeah.
So you guys can have an awesome place to play. But that's it for me. We have 26 seconds left. So as always, guys, thank you so much for joining on our lunchtime lives. They
Hopefully had a good lunch.
every week at 1 o'clock right here on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, all the platforms. So we will see you guys, I would assume next week.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Next week.
All right, guys. See you next week.
Love you all.